This just might be the best first-class flight ever, from 5-star dining, in-seat speakers, the latest entertainment tech, to a massive seat, all with just one complaint. How does JAL's new first class compare with the best of the best? From the luxury of Emirates, the service of Singapore, the comfort of Etihad, and also their direct competitor, ANA. Join me for a full comprehensive review with a very special surprise at the end, all with live taste reactions, detailed seat tour, and how I only paid $200 for this flight. I'm YoungMin. I solo travel to 127 countries, all while working a full-time office job by maximizing my vacations and points. And now I'm finally on YouTube to take you along for the journey. Welcome to the adventure.
Prepare for landing.
How it all started. Shortly after JAL announced their new A350-1000 with an exciting brand new first and business class, I waited and researched following all the new route news and finally got to book a flight on JFK to Tokyo Haneda, but a week before the flight, I got super ill and had to cancel a week before the flight, only to find out Alaska no longer has award access to the new first class. So I waited a whole year to find a seat, and today, the day is finally here. Today we start at Paris CDG. See my previous video to see how I even got here to begin this journey. We'll be on the short 13-hour flight to Tokyo Haneda before heading to our final destination, Seoul Gimpo, on a separate economy ticket, also with JAL. I arrived here from LAX on a 10.5-hour economy flight on Delta. I'm now at CDG Terminal 2. I actually had a mobile boarding pass to hang out at the lounge before coming out just to check out the check-in process. Check-in was a breeze, and I head over to the expedite lane, which I'm excited to use. But the last time I was here, it was also prime summer and the lines were an hour and a half long. I almost missed my flight. And today, there's no one here. Also, the priority security lane earlier was open, and when I go to use it, it was closed. So I'm curious, let me know in the comments what your experience was like at CDG. I head back into the Air France Lounge 2E. Unfortunately, there's no One World First Class lounge, but JAL does partner with Air France to grant access to their business class lounge and not the La Première lounge. Bummer. But at the end, you'll see how I made it for this. It was pretty quiet in the morning with plenty of seating, but quickly filled up. I took a shower, which was really disappointing. It was small and no vent to take out all that steam, and the hairdryer had no hot air function. Compared to the size of the lounge, the dining options seemed pretty limited, and it didn't really feel that appealing. But I'm not gonna complain about a free meal. And afterwards, I found a seat at the nap zone to burn off the calories. Final review, for a business class lounge, this is pretty solid. But for first class passengers, this might be a bit disappointing, especially if you consider that the best Air France business class lounge is in Hall L, and I don't know why they didn't give us access there. I head over to the gate and check out our beautiful A350-1000 for this evening at gate K37. I had the absolute privilege to stand in the front of the line while waiting for boarding to start. Boarding started on time and started real strong with warm smiles all around from the crew, who led me down the hallway towards my mansion in the sky. First impression, just look how high those privacy walls are. First look at the seat and my jaw just dropped. This is going to be an excellent flight. Today's aircraft has 4 classes with a total of just 239 seats, which is extra low capacity being super premium heavy. First class has 6 seats, one of the few airlines with a 1-1-1 configuration for extra suite width. My seat will be in the second row by the window, 2K. Now I just wanted to highlight something extra cool JAL does, which is showing you where babies are in the cabin during seat selection, which would be super helpful in economy, but the baby gods weren't so kind to me today. And I had one that switched seats to right next to me. You win some and you lose some. On board first, we say a quick prayer of thanks. In go the smelly shoes, and on go the very comfy slippers they provide. And just look at that legroom, my feet can't even reach. I settle in and my first reaction, mind blown. I proceed to touch every part of the suite and test out the recline when the crew sneak attacks me with the mandatory welcome champagne. And a hot towel, just cuz. Next, I study the menu and I'm overwhelmed with the choices and the names of all the rich people food. The amenity kit today is by Harold Boney. On top of the normal goodies, you have your not so common items such as moisture pack, USB-C charging cable, and mouthwash packs. But that's not all. We also have a Shiseido Men Essentials kit. And the pajamas are supposed circulation boosting fiber. And let me tell you, these are the finest pajamas I received in this, guys. We'll get to try them on after takeoff. The safety video was an animation that ran twice in Japanese and English. Nothing much here. 3.5 stars. After takeoff, the first thing I check is the sheer size of the screen by the high-tech how many hands test, and the results, many hands. I scroll through the movie selection and see it's very weak, which I find common theme across Asian carriers, but I was delighted to see Bluetooth connectivity. But this plane, we have a secret extra option. I connected my Bose QC Ultras and didn't need to try out the onboard headset, so I slapped on a movie which is high def, but Napoleon for some reason was in very poor quality format. The IFE and the seat both can be controlled by the detachable tablet. Scroll through to choose movies, and also a wide variety of options to adjust your seat, including the main seat, side seat, ambient lighting, and the windows. You can either touch or swipe to navigate across the menu options. Lastly, I thought this was super cool. You can save a code to resume watching at a later flight. We have free Wi-Fi on this flight for first class with the code that was passed out by the crew. Testing the speeds though, it was honestly disappointing throughout the flight, much slower than the Wi-Fi on the Delta long-haul economy flight that I took before this. Before I get into the seat, I rushed to the bathroom to change into loungewear. You've got your stepper to open the trash can, and then we have amenities, mouthwash, fragrances, lotion, toothbrushes, towels, and mask packs. Let's remember this is a Japanese airline, so we got a bidet and the pajama changing platform step. So let's see how this pajama fits. Looking good, feeling good, and back in the seat. Now to start the dining, here's a look at our physical menus today. We have international and Japanese options for the first meal, as well as anytime dine-on-demand a la carte dining. We start with a salmon tart and hibiki anniversary blend, the tart having some strong flavors. Then we have a bowl of noodle with shiitake mushrooms and eel. Next, a bold array of starters with 5 stages of emotions. All the while I skip through the new Captain America. Next, king crab and onion flan with caviar. How can I say, it tasted rich. It's here I test the tray table. You can move the tray table up and down, and also the storage module itself to get yourself in and out of the seat.
Great success!
We're not done yet. We now have our main course, rice with miso soup and grilled lobster. Finally for dessert, mango jelly. I timed it. From first to last dish to come out, it took 1 hour and 29 minutes. All in all, everything was exquisite. And now, it's time for the ultimate seat tour. Immediately next to the sliding gates is our mini wardrobe that pulls out with a coat rack and a mirror. Then we have storage number 1, and then storage number 2 for your shoes. The click sounds are therapeutic. Then we have a military unit of a tray table that takes quite a bit of strength to unsheath. Fold it down. There's a latch at the end that opens to set firmly on the seat console. That thing is solid and is not going to bounce throughout the flight. Fold it back up to store. And on the left side of the IFE screen, we have our literature library, a secret storage number 3. Beneath the guest seat is a storage for your boots or your small carry-on. And to the right, we have the aircraft safety card, our detachable IFE tablet controller, and let's check all the buttons. First, the seat modes: lie flat, lounge, dining, and takeoff and landing. And below are dining lights, reading lights, ambient lighting, and your lumbar controls. Next to the armrest, we have our wireless charging pad. But this is amazing. You have your USB charging ports, your universal charging port, and your headphone jack. That's not all. You have another seat. Same. Headphone jack, USB charging ports, universal charging port. And on the bottom here, separate controls for the second seat. Oh wait, that's not all. And over here for the guest seat, more charging. The privacy door closes buttery smooth. You thought we're finished? Back to the seat controls. You can adjust the headrest tilt, which is a first for me. Then you can adjust the entire seat back, and then also your leg rest. I want to show you guys the in-seat speakers built into the adjustable headrest, which I've never seen before. The headrest is foldable, but the height isn't adjustable. And even if you do adjust, the sound is quite faint and just passes off as a gimmick. And now let me show you the sheer girth of this seat. It fits literally 3 of me. I mean, just look at that space. Arms again for reference. And the guest seat in front can fit 2 of me. Using the tablet, we can configure our seat. Here's zero gravity mode. And also, this is a suite with 2 seats in the sky, so you can control each of them. And lastly, we have a great armrest, as well as a separate mini champagne table that feels like smooth marble. With dinner finished, the crew came for turn-down service, and I came back to my castle for the night. The bedding was fine and super soft. Simply lovely. The lights dimmed, I head to the business class galley to raid the snacks, and now we're gonna turn off the lights, and I slept a solid 5 hours. I woke up just to appreciate and soak in the moment. So much to do. I forced myself up for the next Dine on Demand meal. I got the miso ramen and cold Wagyu beef rolls. The broth was hot and it hit the spot. Noodles chewy, and the Wagyu beef rolls were special. Throughout the rest of the flight, I lounged pretty hard, re-moisturized, rehydrated, caught up with Wrexham while waiting for my snack meal, and I found the tray table absolutely rock solid when it comes to work and dining. And for the final meal before landing, I ordered the grilled fish miso soup meal, along with a snack of fried pork sandwich. The reaction speaks for itself. And as we descend to Tokyo, what a great flight, but so sad it's over. And now how I booked. Since I canceled my flight using Alaska Miles, I used 90k American miles, which I got through a combination of buying, flying, transfer from friends, flight delays, and a total of just $200 in fees. The cash purchase price for this flight would have been an astounding $10,000. And now for our final review. Ground experience, half a point off for the weak lounge and the priority security lane not working, but the seat product, it really doesn't get much better than this, other than the missing individual air nozzles because the cabin was toasty. Dining, maybe I'll get to try the international cuisine option next time, but everything was top notch. Crew were exceptional, warm and professional. This is the bar, but to be honest, a quarter thumb off for still wearing masks in 2025 because I literally could not hear what they're saying. And we arrived a whole 40 minutes earlier than scheduled, which was sad. And as a surprise, I wasn't even supposed to, but I got access to the world-class first-class lounge upon arrival. So perfect score, rounding up to a perfect 5 out of 5. And the verdict? ANA's new first class is solid, but it's not new gen. Emirates 777 new first class is the gold standard for privacy. Etihad Apartments was amazing, but it's slightly old now, and the Singapore new double suites was heaven in the skies. Personally, this flight was my favorite because I was in such a good mood, but what's the best? And I can't rave enough about how amazing this flight was. But Singapore and Emirates are in a league of their own. So third place for me, but that was unforgettable. Well done, JAL. And now a very special treat. I had a separate economy ticket, also with JAL, for my next flight to my final destination, which was Seoul. I called before this flight to ask if I can get lounge access on arrival, and they said no, understandably, that was on their website. But I decided to give it a try anyways, and the lounge agents graciously let me in, and I was giggity giddy, as this was on my list for a long time as a supposed top 10 first class lounge in the world, so now I'm finally here. You pass by the beautiful main hallway and get to the main seating area. Plenty of seating, and you know everyone's mannerful and quiet. In the dining hall, you have unlimited dine on demand with a QR code to order to your own table, and on top of pre-made items, check this out, unlimited beer tap. And up to the second floor, you have your massage chairs where I resided a bit. More seating. It's actually much quieter up here. I don't think people know about the second floor. And check out that view. Still very full for my flight. I got a beef donburi, ramen and sushi, and even more because why not? And now for the highlight. What makes this lounge great? The Red Suite. This place just oozes with class, with the shoe repairman doing his thing silently. You have travel books and gadgets on display, as well as JAL's vintage aviation equipment. Elegant lounge seating with a separate game room in the back. And if that's not enough, a whole champagne corner. The lounge and the flight, this is truly first class. Kalan Asiana, look and learn. Thanks for watching. I'm just starting to record my adventures on YouTube, so subscribe and stay tuned for lots more.